Unlike most Facebook ads that you guys probably run into, I'm actually going to be teaching you guys something on this ad. And I'm going to teach you guys something that's going to be a skill set that's going to be valuable probably for the rest of your life as long as you're in business and you do marketing, okay? What I'm going to teach you guys is how do you get your name mentioned in major media publications like Forbes, like Inc., Entrepreneur, Huffington Post, Business.com, Business to Community, Bloomberg, New York Times, Washington Post, you name it. Using these 3 tactics that I'm going to teach you guys in this video, you're going to be able to get your name into pretty much any publication that you've ever desired, even CNN, ones that you thought that you could never get into, okay? So I want you guys to first turn off your cell phones. Don't keep scrolling up and down on this Facebook ad because you're going to lose it, okay? Bookmark it if you need to. Save this ad. You're going to learn something today. Let's get going. Tip number 1. Build relationships with editors and journalists. Sounds simple enough, right? But you would be surprised how many people in the business world never think about building relationships with people. You have to actually talk to people. You got to get them on the phone. You have to really connect with these people. And it's no different when you're trying to pitch to an editor and to a journalist. What most people don't do is before they send a pitch, they never think once to follow that journalist on social media, like follow them on Twitter, tweet at them, add them as a friend on Facebook. In fact, hey, it might sound crazy, but get their number and say, hey, do you mind if I give you a call and to kind of chat with you a little bit? I love following your column on Bloomberg. The stuff that you write is absolutely amazing. I would just love to know your story. Like, how'd you get started with all of this? You would be surprised how many secrets people spill out when you simply just interview people. Just go out there and start interviewing people that write for these major publications like Forbes, like Inc., Entrepreneur, Reuters, Business to Community, all these kind of places. People like myself. I didn't really even introduce myself. Now I'm going to do it. My name is Rafi Chowdhury. I run a PR company called Influencer Spotlight. I do a ton of influencer marketing. And on top of that, I write for sites like Forbes, Inc. I write for Huffington Post, Entrepreneur Magazine, Business to Community, BuzzFeed, and several other publications. And over the years, I've picked up a few golden nuggets. And I'm going to share with you guys 3 of those golden nuggets. And the first one being build relationships with people. So go to these editors. When you're kind of scrolling down publications that you want to be on, you will see that there are community contributors that write for these publications. And next to most of them, you will see that they have their social media icons as well. Go ahead and follow them. If they're on Twitter, tweet at them. Most people check their Twitter tweets. They may not check their Twitter inbox, but they're definitely going to respond to you if you tweet at them. Add them on LinkedIn. But better yet, get even more personal. Send them a friend request on Facebook. They may not accept it. Not every editor out there is going to accept your friend request. Not every journalist is going to respond to you. But if you reach out to enough of them, they will respond. Once you get a response, you already know that this person is genuinely interested in connecting with you. So make sure that your profile also looks good before you reach out to these people. The next best thing that you can do, and I promise you this might sound crazy to you, but it works. Stand out from everybody else that's out there that's doing this by connecting with them on a more personal level. Get their phone number, get their Skype ID, and have a call with them. Let them see your face. You will go so much further in building a personalized relationship with them if you actually pick up the phone and talk to them and take that communication from a digital one to a real life communication. If you live in a big city like LA, like Paris, or like New York, San Francisco, where you can maybe physically meet with these editors and journalists, I promise you it's definitely worth your time to ask them out for coffee and just to get to know their story. Don't tell them you want something from them, but just say, hey, I'm an up and coming entrepreneur, I'm an up and coming writer myself. I would love to know, how did you start writing for Forbes? How did you start writing for Bloomberg? How did you start writing for the New York Times? And people love talking about themselves. And again, I repeat myself, people love when you ask them questions, genuine questions, trying to get to know them. And in that process, what you're gonna get them to do is share secrets about themselves, share their life story. Just like if you're trying to get a girl to like you, what do you ultimately want her to do? You want her to share as much secrets and insiders deals, her life story, everything about herself to you, right? Because she becomes then more vulnerable to you, and she's more likely to connect with you. If you wanted to, really get her to like you, You want to get to that kind of level with them. It's no different in the business world. When you build relationships with people, you want to really connect with them on a personal level. And unfortunately, digital communications, emails, and Facebook ads, and these kind of Facebook conversations that we have just aren't personal enough. So go out there, meet these people, look at the publications that you want to be on, connect with them, get them on the phone, interview these people, get them on a Facebook Live interview, whatever you have to do. Get to know these people. Okay, rule number 1. So build genuine relations with editors. I'm going to take this one off and I'm going to give you guys rule number 2. So if you just tuned into the ad and you haven't watched the first part, well, guess what? You missed it. Another obvious one, you would be surprised how many people pitch to a publication, pitch to a journalist, pitch to a place that they want to write for, they want to get mentioned in. They've never read the publication. Like, I get so many pitches on a daily basis. Hey, Rafi, I've been creating this amazing game, that's about, I don't know, like chess or whatever. I would love it if you can talk about my game on the Goodman Project. If you ever read the Goodman Project isn't a publication that features games. It's a publication about men and their struggles. You need to read the publication that you're pitching to. If you want to get into Forbes, don't pitch them that, your amazing script that you wrote for a play. Like, Forbes doesn't care about plays. Forbes is a publication that's about business. Inc., another business one. Entrepreneur, another business one. Huffington Post is more generalized. So if you wrote an amazing play, you want to get that into Huffington Post, go for it. If you want to share your 10 best Bible verses, you're not going to want to pitch it to Forbes, but Huffington Post might accept it. So you have to really read the publication, read the column that you're looking to contribute to, or the column that you want to actually get featured on, and see what kind of content they actually create. So when you do go to pitch Forbes, and you do go to pitch Inc. magazine or Bloomberg, whatever it is that you want to get into, you already have a really, really good idea of what kind of content topics that they expect and they're going to accept, and what your expertise, does it actually align with that publication? Because if it doesn't align, you pitch some random things that, don't really align with the publication is about, doesn't matter how amazing of a writer you are, how many places you've pitched to, or what your qualifications are, they're just not going to accept it because you didn't meet their writing guidelines. So read their guidelines in detail, read the publication itself, talk to, obviously in the previous point, I talked about talking to and building relationships with editors. That's how you really get the insider secrets on how to get into some of these publications. And I promise you, it's so much easier than you can imagine if you actually talk to people that have been there and done it. Because if I ask you the question, how do you become a millionaire? There's so many ways to become a millionaire, but one of the easiest ways to become a millionaire, I'm telling you, is if you find another millionaire and you ask him, hey, how did you do that? And just repeat exactly what they did. It's so much easier. That's why people hire coaches and consultants. It's so much easier if you just find someone that has already done what you're looking for and just ask them, hey, how did you do that? And again, they may not always give away their secrets, and it might be a long, winding path, but it is definitely one that has worked for that person, right? So there's definitely some validity to it, and it's much easier for you to be able to repeat that if you know which direction you're heading. Could you have, by yourself researched and tried and replicated the same thing? Of course you could have. But what's going to happen is you're going to make a lot of mistakes, and it's going to take you a long time. So life is just too short to make mistakes and try things by ourselves. It's much easier, like people say, like good marketers copy and great marketers steal. So if you find someone that has done exactly what you're looking to do, such as write for Forbes or get mentioned in Inc. and Bloomberg, just ask them and do exactly what they did. And I promise you, you're gonna be so much, you're gonna get a good head start and a right direction to go about your search and your trials and stuff like that, than if you just randomly started Googling and trying to figure out like what should you be doing. So connect with these people, read the publication, try to understand it, and your pitch is gonna be a lot more targeted and you're gonna have a better result. So the third thing that I'm gonna teach you guys is actually, you know what? Why don't you click the link in the ad And it's gonna take you to a page. I'm gonna have 3 training videos that's gonna kind of talk about some of these things. And in one of those videos, I'm gonna go ahead and mention the third thing. Thank you guys. See you on the next page.